We can see what happens.
Okay.
If it goes to some other channel, no, it's good. Okay. There we go. Alright, we're streaming. We should be able to send out the link. Do you want to post it to Instagram or do you want me to?
I'm opening it up right now. I should probably. I'm so out of it. God fucking damn it. Who's here, there? Okay. Now I have it open. Oh. Hey. What's up, Krish? Nice copy.
Here?
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what Krish sent. Why is... I have like a Google... Okay, there we go. It's gone.
Why can't I add a fucking link? What is... There we go.
I love the Strokes. My favorite one is the one Margaret Thatcher had.
Jesus Christ. Krish, I'm learning Birthday Boy on guitar. Oh, and then I need to tag options. How do you add tags? Tag people. Mention myself.
I'm in the SocietyCore straight up stroking it, and by it, well, let me just say my stream.
Wow, that was bad.
That's what Chris just said.
I believe it. Okay, there we go. Now we can each post the story to our own stories. That's so cool. All right. We got two people in.
We got two people.
We have two people in. Oh, okay. They're doing a watch along in the server.
Are they actually?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh
Let me go on to the official.
I need a new phone case. It keeps like breaking. Like there's like an entire case around the side of it. It's just like peeling off.
Sorry, this fucking took so long to do this stream.
Sorry, we took 8 minutes. Oh wait, you mean like just since the Wii one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we should have started it probably last month, but that's okay.
All right.
I got 4 viewers.
Nice. Everyone loves the Strokes.
Unfortunately.
Cigarette intermission. That'd be a funny bit. Do a cigarette break after 2 albums.
No, I quit.
Oh god, we have 5 albums to get
I
through.
quit. I quit.
Should we go track by track?
I don't know if I can remember every song.
What do you mean? They're all so unique and memorable.
So the last time... So I finished listening to everything 2 weeks ago. So let's see if I remember.
Yeah. I finished like a week and a half ago. Oh no, wait. Also 2 weeks ago. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah, we fucked up.
yeah. We didn't fuck up. He was just busy.
Yeah. Well, we were gonna do it last Sunday
Yeah.
for a minute. Anyway, welcome to the Strokes, everyone.
Our second artist of the alternative season of
Yeah,
SocietyCore.
which we've decided can be pretty much anything. It's kind of like alternative indie, like
No, 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 no,
yeah,
no, no,
I
no.
don't know where things are going after this.
I have two very strong ideas.
No.
That'll be for next episode, though.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I did a bunch of research too. Don't
Oh
remember
no.
where I wrote things. Don't remember most of the fun facts I came up with, so we're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best. But I picked the Strokes, so that means you start, right? That's how
Okay.
this
Yep.
works.
Yep. All
Sick.
right. Let's start off with the debut album. Is This It? Um, I think I first listened to this album uh, in like I think my freshman year of high school, and I'd been going through a breakup. It was my first breakup, and I'm like, damn, is this it? Like, um, but I just remember listening to a lot, and I think it was honestly one of the first albums that I like actually found out and listened to all the way through. Like I think it was like my introduction to what like albums were in music. Like it had to be probably in like the top like the first like 10 like albums I actually ever ended up like fully checking out or like obsessing over. Um and I probably listened to the album like over 100 times. And I really enjoyed a lot of it. I think with like there's like so much that's already been said about this album in general. Like it's just really good. It's almost like too much of a good thing. Um, but I do think that like coming back to it now after all these years, it's like I've listened to this album so many times. Like I don't think I have the same appeal that I used to have when I listened to it like 8 years ago. Um, but I still think it's still really good. It's like one of the greatest debuts album ever made. I just think right now where I'm at, I don't really care for it anymore. But I still see it as like one of the greatest albums.
Yeah, I think this album is hurt by 20, 20 years, over 20 years now of music heavily influenced by it.
Yeah.
Uh, so some context. The Strokes are like a almost like a nepo baby supergroup. Like almost every member has like crazy successful parents, but them as a group were like very successful. Uh, at least according to like Wikipedia and interviews with like people who followed them early in their career because of like how hard they worked and how like incredibly talented as musicians they are. So it's interesting. Then they also got signed to like in an indie label to start after they released their EP. So they did not like get they didn't dive right into the industry. They like went on oh no, never mind. It's not. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about actually. I'm misreading this. It's been too long since I did my Strokes deep dive. But um they are very like New York, I guess. This album
I'm walking here.
especially, yeah, this album is so like immersed in like the culture of New York City, late 90s, early 2000s. um, and it has a sound that is so different from everything that was coming out at the time. Like if you like this was like the peak of like new metal and like the way pop music sounded was and rock that was getting radio play was so fucking different. So then they come in with this like very like lo-fi but kind of bright like bouncy, I think is the best way to describe their sound, and change the direction of like alternative music and just rock that gets radio play. Like without the Strokes, I don't think we have like the Killers, we don't have Franz Ferdinand, we don't have like
Maybe it would have been
really
better. Imagine
maybe,
society without those bands. That's one I'd want to be in.
no, I think that it's possibly better than I don't know if what new metal might have become if it just kept being like and what it was already becoming towards this time and this era. So this album is incredibly influential, and that's a big reason why it's on like so many top albums of all time lists, why it's like considered one of the greatest debuts of all time. It's very historically important, but I agree with like coming back to it. It feels so familiar and so like well trodden, maybe overly well trodden, that it doesn't always hit. But when you're in the mood for it, it's like near perfect. It's an insanely tight, good sounding album for a debut. I think that if you like the more rough vocal style, because I think there's like two eras of Julian Casablancas vocals, and if you like the rougher era, this one it has the best rough vocals. His performances are so fun. Do we want to go track by track? Or at least do highlights.
I can do ones that I remember, but I also one thing I wanted to say. I feel like with this album, and is this it within the songwriting? It's almost like they have like the perfect like song structure, because it's like almost as soon as you're getting bored of that like song verse or like the verse chorus, then they'll come in with like a bridge that's like entirely unique to the rest of the song, and I feel like it like brings it all back. It's like, okay, it's like exactly when the song needed to change, the song ends up changing in the bridge, and I feel like that's for like every single track in that album. I think they really like execute that idea. It's like I feel like every song almost has like a perfect bridge, which I can't say about other albums.
Yeah, true.
I've covered like half of these fucking songs. I like know them too well. Is this it was like one of the first songs I ever covered?
Hell yeah.
I don't know why. It's like such a bad song to like
cover
for a band starting. Like for a band just starting and they cover Is This It? Like it's so weird, like do 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 and then do 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 do. We tried doing it with a 3-piece. I'll just say that. You can imagine how that sounds.
That's terrible. It's like the whole fucking point. The whole point is that they have like dueling guitars throughout the album almost. Like they have it's so back and forth. You can't do it without.
No, we did. We did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did.
I don't know what you did, but it was not. It was not accurate.
It was with Rico.
That's crazy.
He was like learning that bass line made him good at bass. Apparently.
I believe that. It's yeah. This is one of their perfect 10 songs. I think.
I didn't even give it a 10. I gave it a 9.
Okay. I give 5 songs on this album a perfect 10.
Dear God, I gave 1.
Which one?
Hard to explain.
Hard to
It was like whatever
yeah,
reason. That one just came back. Like I don't think I cared for it that much. Like I liked it, but like listening to it this time, like it hits harder this time.
I think it's the
best
song of the album.
I never thought that until this most recent listen.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain a lot of like
Hard to
what
explain.
makes Everything's so good on this album. It's so like groovy and bouncy. I guess the rhythm section, like the bass and drums, is just perfect. And the playing on this album is just so fucking tight and like locked in. Uh, and then you have Julian Casablancas going like
It's just
going
good.
crazy.
It's just really
Yeah,
good
it's
song
it's
structure
really
and
good. It's
songwriting.
addicting.
And it's
Yeah,
recorded in like such that like that early in like 2000s way.
it invented the early 2000s recording way though. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
because yeah, the other I was reviewing my notes and the I don't know where I got the indie label thing. I think the Modern Age EP was like done independently, and then that started like a bidding war between major labels, which is
Mm.
really like a huge bidding war. Um, and then the other genre that was like dominating during the time would be grunge.
Mm.
So that's
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
came into this album with. And I can imagine this like changing lives, like
Yeah.
hearing this for a lot of people. Um, okay, how long?
I also wanted to say my least favorite song was When It Started.
Same.
And maybe we'll agree on some stuff on this.
I think we might. Okay, wait. Let's just go track by track. What do you? Is this it? It's really groovy. That bass line and the way it builds and they bring instruments in is like perfect for an album
Mm-hmm.
opener. I love the way it brings you into the sound. Uh, the vocals are so like gentle almost. It's just so fun. Yeah,
It's a good song.
the
Um,
modern age.
I gave that one. I gave it an 8. I didn't give it a 9.
I gave it like a 9.5. I This album is like this might be the best debut we've reviewed, I think, for me. It's yeah, it's crazy. I really love the way the guitar progresses on it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and then do we want to do the back and forth thing? Or do you want me to just go
I mean,
you don't
I
remember
feel
all of
like
them?
I remember some of them, but um,
Is- Let's see. We don't actually have that many songs to go through, and I'm sure they're late on later albums. I definitely have a lot to say about some of those
some of them
songs.
I like. I'm just not gonna remember at all. So
Okay. All right. What do you think about Soma?
it's good. Gave it a gave it a 9. I like know that song. I just like don't even. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good song. I like. I think it's like that's the only thing is that all of them almost sound like the same. Like they're similar enough where they're very like they're different, but like they all have that same like sound going for it. So it's like very
Yeah.
consistent all the way through.
I think after the amount of times I listened to this album, I was able to get like a clear, definitive like idea of each song. I think on later albums, there's less. Actually, I don't want to spoil, but I think that this album, for the most part, has very like each song is very unique and individual, and
Yeah.
reason that like uh, the reason that they have the reputation for everything sounding the same is probably because they kind of just made a sequel album to this album.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I really like the guitar interplay on Soma as well. Like, it's so iconic. I gave it a 9. Barely Legal, I think third weakest song.
Mm.
Sometimes I really like it. Other times I'm like,
I've covered sometimes.
eh.
That's an interesting song, dude. Fucking was it last night? Is such a fucking annoying song to cover, just cause like you never know when the vocals come in at the beginning. It's almost like a delayed start for the vocals on that song.
Damn. I think Last Night is their Creep.
Stop.
It
No,
is.
they're Creeps Reptilia. The fuck?
Nah.
Yes.
No, because it's not. No, it isn't. It's not even. Last night's their most popular.
Oh,
And
now it is.
Reptilia
Jesus Christ.
and Reptilia isn't on their debut, so it
I'm
can't be their
fucked.
creep. It has to be off the.
I
It
don't
has
know.
to be like
I just remember Reptilia being on
insanely.
Rock Band.
Yeah. It's- I don't. Okay, Alone Together is one that I don't remember very well. Let me
I
look it
don't
up.
remember. I gave it a 9 though, so
I also gave it a 9, which is why I'm like, why don't I remember this?
it's just. I think the song names are just weird.
Oh yeah. It's the like do 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 do
Okay.
do 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 do
Yep.
do.
Yep.
Yeah, so awesome. Hard to explain best song
Yep.
as we established. Um, the guitar on that is so fucking awesome. Everything about that song is just so awesome.
Julia Casablancas has made similar comments about Last Night to Tom York and Creep.
That's true. That
Good
was, I think,
God.
why I made that comment because he said he like hates fucking playing it now. Like he's so
Last night. It's kind of an annoying song, low key.
still 10 out of 10 for me. Someday, I think there's also a case for that being their creep, but it's not as like
Yeah.
crazy or abrasive or yeah. When it started, kind of ass
Mm-hmm.
compared to the rest of it. I still give it a 7.
No, yeah, Chris was saying New York City Cops was the song that was originally.
Well, they had to take it off because
Yeah.
of 9/11.
Yeah. They should have kept it.
They
It's a
should have. They
better
didn't
song.
release it.
It's a
They
better
did
song.
still release it. Oh, like it was replaced with when it started.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
This album might be even better.
Yeah.
They might have also killed their careers. uh,
Trying Your Luck,
Right.
I don't remember.
the vocals are kind of grating on it, but other than that, it's like has really really nice instrumental. And then Take It or Leave It, fantastic closer, another perfect
Take It or
song.
Leave It's a really good song. I still only gave it an 8 though.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
I get okay. So I realized something with the Strokes where I'm like my scores are relative or like they're based on the artist. So these are all like 10 out of 10 Stroke songs.
Mm.
If I was comparing like my rating system is because we're doing a tier list, right? Like
Yeah.
we're not ever. It's all internal to the artist's
Yeah,
discography.
yeah, yeah.
So I can say, oh, it's a 10 out of 10 song for the Strokes, which I think is like very accurate. It would be a lot harder to be like, are these like 10 out of 10 perfect songs? I don't know which of them I would keep as perfect and which I wouldn't, but I still think that like this is like a 9 out of 10 album.
Mhm.
So good.
This is the
So
album that
influential.
has the only 10 on my current rankings.
Oh God.
Yeah.
How many other 10s do I have? I have a bunch on Room on
Dear
Fire,
God.
and I have one on Angles. And that's it. That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh wait, no, I have one on First Impressions as well. Okay.
All right. Are we
Uh,
ranking it?
I mean, this is the easiest ranking
Yeah.
maybe we've ever had.
Yeah.
It goes in S.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. You get
A
to talk
clear
about the next
S.
one.
I do. Okay, Room on Fire. So there's a funny story about this.
Oh, no.
Apparently, after the success of Is This It, there was like a party, and Courtney Love came up to Julian
I'm gonna
and
kill
was
myself.
like, "What?
Wow, the room's really on fire.
No, what? No. She was trying to like give him advice on like handling
Yeah.
fame and how like fucked up it can get, and then he was like trying to blow her off, and she was like, "All right, your debut was bleak, your next album has to be Nevermind, and apparently that like scared the shit out of him.
That's
Or at
fucking
least it's told
hilarious.
that way. And so they were like really really like that's why this album is called Room on Fire. And there's so much angst to it, and it's so like anxious in a lot of ways, like because I think they felt a lot of pressure because
Yeah.
they hit it so insanely big with their debut, and they're like, how the fuck do we follow this up? And I would say that that like pressure cooker almost made for made them play it a little safe, um, but safe for them and for where they were in their career is still great. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think the A side of this album is like as good as or better in quality than Is This It? And then the B side like is not. The B side is a little bit like samey, doesn't does not as consistent, not nearly as consistent. And has like the first bad Stroke song on it, I think. But it still ends so like the last two songs are still very very good. It
Damn.
closes out really
Damn.
really well. Uh-oh. It to me overall the album is like a little expanded in like sound. Like they try a few more different
Do
things
they?
than on Is This It. It has higher energy, it's more angsty, but the way it's recorded and the way they play the instruments are all like it's the same exact sound overall, or style, I guess. And that makes it like just a little bit not as good, but still a great album. That's my feelings on Room on Fire.
All
What do you
right.
think?
Room on Fire is this it part two?
Yeah.
Um, it's they basically took the majority of the same sound from Is This It and then made like another album following it. Um, and that being said, I don't know if the songs in particular are fully worse. Like I think some of them aren't as strong, but I think just personally for me, like as a listener, it's like if they're doing more of the same thing, I think I'm just not going to be fully invested in as much as the first one, especially if I don't think those newer songs are as good as the first album. Um, that's my first initial thought, and secondly, I think the sequencing on this album is fucking horrible. Uh, for some fuck ass reason, there's like 5 or 6 seconds of silence in between each track, and it's just annoying. It's like I thought my Spotify was breaking, and it's like no, there's just like 5 seconds of silence in between each song for some reason, and it breaks the flow every single time. Um, I think this album does have some highs, and I also think it has more lows than Is This It. But overall, I think it's just more of the same stuff, trying some similar things, slightly different, but not so much where I really care about it as much as I care about Is This It. And I still think it's like I think it's like a good or like almost great record, but I don't think it should be on the same pedestal as Is This It.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I think that's a very like reasonable take. I agree for the most part. I don't think I disliked it as much or like felt it as much of a drop off, but overall I think like in comparison the two, it's definitely like significantly weaker. Um all right, tracks. You want to go one by one?
Um, so two of them got 8, but whatever happened, I gave an 8. I think that's a good
Same.
opener. I
I
enjoyed it.
love the lyrics to it. I think that like the "I want to be forgotten" line, like he's just so like upset. I don't know. It's awesome. It really sets the tone for the album, and
Yeah.
but his vocal delivery is a little more grating, um, than on "Is This It?" Like, and I think that's what takes away from it being like above an 8 for me.
Hmm.
Reptilia,
9.
classic.
Just a classic. Rock Band 2, you know.
Gave it a 10. So they're
I didn't give it
yeah
a
one of
10.
their. That's fair.
This is their creep, in my opinion. But
It's an awesome song. Automatic Stop. I love the vocals on so much. I love this like the the verse, like the way it opens, the so many fish. I don't know. It really gets me. It just sounds so good.
I like just that's the thing. I'm like not remembering some of these songs. Um,
Uh-oh.
like I don't automatic stop. I could not fucking tell you a single thing of how that song goes. Even looking at the lyrics, it's like
What? It's so good
that's
though.
why it's like I don't know. Oh my god.
Just click like listen from the like the last like 20
Okay, I
seconds.
know it now. This is a good
Yeah.
song. I enjoyed it. I still gave it a 7 though.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's okay. All right. All right. Uh, what about 1251?
1251. I also gave a 7.
That's crazy. That's wild. That's
I
crazy.
think I think more of it's getting into that like early 2000s sound, like that classic kind of like early like 2000s rock sound, which I'm not always a fan of. I think
This song was fully ripped off by I think Franz Ferdinand. That's the one that
probably
had
I don't know whatever. It's just like that
Take Me
style.
Out.
Like I get it. I just don't care.
Like if you listen to the beginning of Take Me Out, it's exactly the fucking same as 1251. Like it's such a blatant rip off. It's crazy. Uh,
You say you
1251.
don't know.
What the fuck?
I was singing. I'm
12
singing Franz
I
Ferdinand.
know you were. 1251 used to be my favorite Strokes song though. Like
Uh,
like when I heard it on the radio, I was like, "Oh, this is I love this band now. I love this song." It's so iconic. Um You Talk Way Too Much. Another 10 for me.
this song is actually kind
Uh,
of boring.
that's you
I
know
still
what?
gave it a 7.
You're not alone in that take. I don't think it's I think it's to me it's an underrated track. It's a little bit of a hidden gem. I just love like how yearning it is, and I really love the guitar solo. It's such a good solo.
I gave that a 7. And then this is where I think the album starts to drop off a little bit
Agreed.
between Love and
Agreed.
Hate. I
Yeah.
gave it a 6.
Some days it annoys the shit out of me. Other times I'm like, I like these verses. It's catchy and cute.
It's like
But
it's fine. Like I think that's what a lot of this album comes down to. Like it's fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I think it's just fine.
I don't need anybody. So it's I think it averages to a 7 because sometimes I'm like it's like an 8. Sometimes it's a 6. Maybe worse actually, but probably should be lower than a 7. All right, Meet Me in the Bathroom, underwhelming. And this, so I saw the Strokes live when they headlined This Ain't No Picnic.
Yeah.
Uh, I think this is the only song they played off of fucking oh no, they did play more songs off off Room on Fire. They played Reptilia and I don't know, the songs they played from it were weird,
Hmm.
but they played this. They played this live, and
Even in the
apparently it was like
bathroom's an
the
8.
first. No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
disagree,
Yeah. It is.
disagree. I think this is the first song where it just kind of sounds like other songs
Yeah.
to me. So I get underwhelmed. Where I'm like, there's not anything in it where they're like being bad, but it just sounds exactly like everything else. And then like, okay, I'm like underwhelmed. I don't want to revisit this because I'd rather just revisit the other stuff.
Hmm.
I'm surprised you like it more than like 1251 or.
Dude, I don't.
other
This
stuff.
album is. It was just. It's like weird. I think it's like so like. I think it's like so like it's like good but not great. Where it's like other songs could be like more appealing. It's like I'm like
Yeah.
I see the argument for everything. It's just like I don't think any of them stick out that crazy as being that great or that bad.
All right, what about Under Control?
I like don't remember that. I gave it a 7, but
Okay, I gave it an 8. I also think it's a little underrated. It's really pretty. It's like a slower, more like
yeah, they do a lot of more slower songs on this album.
mhm, which can be an issue. All right, I think the next track is the worst, the first bad Stroke song to me.
But the way it is,
Yeah, the way it
I
is.
give that a 6 as well.
I gave it a 5.
Damn.
And my my note for it is I wish it wasn't. So stupid.
I was like,
I think it's definitely the weakest on the album. Revisiting it after some later stuff, I'm like, maybe it's not a 5. Maybe it's like a 5.5
mhm.
or a 6. It's okay. It's really short and weak. Thank you, Krish. Under Control is underrated.
Yeah, and it has
It's
no
one of the
end.
songs
Oh.
that's like oh yeah. I was just gonna say it's one of the songs where they try something a little different. And I think it
Mm.
works. Okay, the end has no end.
I gave it a 7. I think that song's slightly annoying.
I give it a 10.
Oh,
I think it is
my
so
God.
stylish and cool and like
I think it
it's
goes on
the
for too long,
it's such a stroke. It's a 3-minute
and
song.
it still feels too long.
Are you? Oh,
The end has no end. The end has
he
no
says
end.
it 4 times, or
No,
he
he doesn't.
says it 8 times at the end. I don't know. I
Does it
there are a
12
lot of
times the whole
people.
song.
Okay, when I was reading some reviews, there are a lot of people who criticize Julian Casablancas' songwriting, and I think this is probably one where if you don't like when he repeats things,
No, there were straight up times where there were some
uh,
lyrics I'm like, did he just fucking like come up with that before he went in the studio? Like, there are some lyrics where I'm just like, he straight up just woke up that day and it's like whatever comes out comes out. Like,
uh,
I was like, damn, really sounding like my song, my lyrics here, are we?
I really like his songwriting. I think it's overhated, especially later on.
I
I
think just some of the
sometimes
lyrics, I'm just like,
there are some like terrible lyrics, but usually the ones that people take like point out as terrible lyrics, cough pitchfork cough in reviews, are not at all. Like
damn.
uh yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I love Ben has no actually no, it has like kind of like a build to it. Almost like a
Sure,
prog feel a little
sure,
to me. Yeah.
sure.
No, the end has
I can't
no
win, I
end.
don't remember at all.
Oh,
I gave it a
that's
6.
crazy. I give it a 10.
You are going to hell.
It's a perfect fucking closer. It's really high energy. The guitar it is one that
I hear it.
now in
I know this one,
hindsight
yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's just,
now
I
it-
just don't care as much.
that's fair. In hindsight, I'm like, okay, this is another one where it starts to sound like everything else when you get
Yeah.
later in the discography. But when I first heard it, like listening in order, I'm like, oh, this is incredible. It's a standout. But I don't know how often I'd revisit it with some of what they do later on.
Hmm.
Overall, I think I probably rated this a bit higher than you. I'm a
Yeah.
little worried.
I mean, I
Thank you,
is the
Chris.
set had 14 more points than this one.
Holy shit. Okay,
Yeah.
my is this it average it came out to like a 9.1.
Mhm.
And this was an 8.5.
Mhm.
So, but it is clearly weaker and it takes a dip. It's not even
Yeah.
like, oh, it like around is a 7. It's like a lot of the songs are like 8, 9, tens, and then there's three just like significantly weaker tracks.
No, I think it should be an A.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
Uh, Definitely, at least for this first episode.
Yeah.
All right. First impressions of
One
Earth.
second. You can do a fun fact if you want.
Do I have any fun facts? So, okay, this one is more ambitious. It's longer. It sounds different. I don't really have very many fun facts. I mean, the early this time is kind of when the Strokes kind of like start to change a little bit. Like they had such crazy fucking success, and they're like, okay, what do we do for the third album? And I think they finished touring, and then they're like, let's try something else. I don't know. There isn't like a ton of like info about this one. It's weird. Uh,
All right, I'm back.
all right.
Krish, I'm not taking a cigarette break. All right.
All right.
Do I start talking about this one?
Yeah, go
All
for
right.
it.
First impressions of Earth. This is a very weird album, I think. I feel like after their first two albums, it's like, okay, we're established, we can do stuff, we have this exact sound. But
Almost.
I think with other bands, or like in with the next thing, they're like, okay, like you need to like start like branching out on that sound, so it's not just a fucking one trick pony. At least that would be the smart thing to do. So I did feel like on this album they did try a lot of different sounds. Um, but I think they kind of overdid it. I think they tried out maybe too many different styles on the album. And so I didn't end up caring for a majority of the songs. Cause it would just be like, oh, this one's, I can see where this is going. And then it would like switch the style and do like something else and then keep like doing all these other things. And I'm just like, this is kind of a mess of an album. And furthering on that point, I think it just would have been way stronger if there were like less fucking songs. I think this is like maybe the Strokes album so far that has like the most songs, or like with even of the other ones. I think there was like what, like 15 or 16 songs. 14, okay. And then the other ones had like 10 max. But I think like maybe condensing some of the new styles they were going for, condensing some of the track list, um, would have made it a much better album. And I feel like most of the time when you're in a band, you're able to condense it. So I have a feeling that there was some shit going on behind the scenes where maybe some people wanted to try some things and other people didn't, and then they just kind of said fuck it and did everything, and then came out with a half baked album.
So I think that theory is false.
Really?
I believe that for the first three albums, every single song was written and composed solely by Julian Casablancas.
Dear
Like he
God.
had like basically like as at least in credits, like he had full control over everything. So I think he just got a little lost in the sauce because
He might have
they
just ran out of the songs that he liked, and they just threw a
yeah,
fuck ton.
because I if you take off like for my ratings, if you take off like the four weakest tracks, this goes up to be like as good as Room on Fire to me.
Damn.
But it just has some stinkers on it.
Holy shit. Okay, no, okay. I guess Vision of Division was written by everybody. And then there are 4 other songs that all of them worked with Casablancas separately. So, like, one of them was with Albert Hammond Jr., one of them was with Moretti, one of them was with Valenci. And then one of them was with Fraiture. These are such, like, the most fucked names ever. Jesus Christ. Like, trying to read any of these names, I'm like reading fucking scripture. Nikolai, like, Nikolai Fraiture. Albert Hammond Jr., that one's fine. Fabrizio Moretti. And then they're all just Italian as fuck. Like,
yeah, they're like, they all met in, like, prep school. Or a lot of them did.
That makes sense.
Yeah. What? Yeah. So
before that,
but
though,
he still had
majority.
like, control over those. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just like they also got a writing credit for whatever contribution they had, which is wild. Yeah. It's like
that's fucked.
It's crazy, and a lot of why I know that is because of interviews regarding Angles, because your theory would be pretty bang on for what happened with Angles, but okay, so I don't know. I think you kind of nailed it with the way it sounds, though, where it's just like they tried a bunch of different stuff, and it's a bit all over the place. Do we want to go track by track? Because I think
I'm gonna end up forgetting like half of these, but
I think the most notes for this because I was like, I have a lot to say. The reviews for this album are also kind of like, some people were like very solid, very good, and then some were like, this is their worst by far. So it averages to like just like kind of overall slightly above average, like a little bit positive, which is interesting.
I'm scared for one of these. Okay.
You Only Live Once.
Banger.
This is only 10 on the album.
I give it a 9. I remember watching the music video when I was younger, and somebody was like, "Damn, that's a lot of Coca-Cola." It's like they're in a room. Yeah. They're in a room, and like this like black goop just kind of like starts spraying out of the walls and covers everybody.
Fucking awesome.
Somebody was like, "It's a lot of Coca-Cola."
Oh, that's right. There were some overall notes that I had on the production. So the production style is way cleaner and like sharper and kind of like punchy. I don't know. Than previous. Like they kind of abandoned the like indie style and went for like clean alt rock production of the era, which I think in general suits the songwriting and the way that they play on this album, but it's like less cool and groundbreaking. Like it just sounds like a much more standard album of the era. This definitely is not an influential album, and I think overall, like the vocals are a bit like too prominent. Like they found a really nice balance, like on the previous albums, especially with like how kind of lo-fi the recording of the vocals are. But on this, they're like, okay, we're gonna clean up the vocals and we're gonna like put them above all the instruments, which does a disservice to how like good of musicians the Strokes are. Okay, that's my overall album note for quality. We already talked about You Only Live Once, unless there's anything else you have to say about it.
Banger,
yeah.
All right, Juice Box. That's like, out of everything we've listened to, I think that's the only song I've like come back and listened to a couple of times. I think I kind of forgot that it existed. And I remember listening to it when I was younger, and I'm like, this is an actual banger of a track, Juice Box. It has like such a like almost the beginning bass line is like fucking like corny, almost like doo 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 doo,
Oh
like
yeah,
some like some
very
spy
corny.
thing.
I would agree with that.
But then like everything else of the song is so good. Uh, like why don't you come over here? We gotta study low, like that whole part, and you're so cold when it's like doo 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 doo. Like the way the way the song transitions and builds after that like really fucking weird like intro and like kind of fast verses like it's like I almost feel like the intro part is like a 6 and then it's like the other part is almost like a fucking like 11 or 12 so then it just kind of evens out so then it evens out to like a 9.
I'll try to be nice. I think this is the worst Strokes single.
Single? I don't know what the singles are. So
It was a single. I think it's all over the place. The sequencing of it is horrible. The
no.
vocals
The sequencing
are kind of shrieky. It's like kind of theatrical, like the vocals. Okay, when it's so there's a part in the song where he's like standing in the light field and then it's like echoed of him saying standing in the light field. But it's so clearly just him saying it again quieter. It doesn't sound like it was actually like a second vocal take that they like echoed. It sounds corny. I think it's a corny song. I think it's the second worst song on the album.
The bass line though.
The bassline, I said the bassline and bridge are wasted. I think both of those elements are good, but the rest of the song...
It's like the best part of the entire album is that bridge.
No way. No way. Because it's taking you from something bad to something also bad. So...
No. That's peak.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
That's peak.
I don't get it. It's too much of a departure, and they're trying to do stuff that they're not good at for me. It's all over the place.
You're tripping.
At all. No, I think it's fair to enjoy because they are trying something very unique. Like, I'm surprised you enjoy it that much. I just don't think it suits them. It's too jarring for this. Like if a different band did this song, maybe I'd enjoy it in a different context. Another jaw moment for the folks. It's like a lot of it's I think the third most popular song on the album. Like they played it live. When I saw them, people seem to enjoy it. I don't know. It's not for me. Alright, Hard in a Cage. Banger.
Dookie.
Dookie!
Yeah,
No!
I gave it a 6.
What?
Yeah. There's only 2 songs I really enjoy on this album, and we already listened to both of them.
You're crazy! This song is so good! It's got like a garage like blues type vocals. It's got like the sickest instrumentation.
It's just not good.
It's so fast and tight. It's awesome. It reminds me a lot of like my other favorite band of this era, the Hives. Like they have a lot of like super cool songs that are kind of like this. This song is incredible. That's crazy. No. This is more of a jaw moment than liking Juice Box to me. What the hell?
This is not. Okay. I don't know. I don't care.
We gotta move on. On. What the fuck? All right.
Razor Blade.
I bet you hated Razor Blade too.
Yeah, I gave it a 6. I'm like, yeah.
Okay, that's fucked. It just sounds like the classic style. Like this is a return to form to me.
It's just boring at this point. I think after like 6 years, I'm like, I've heard it.
I just like the Strokes. I think is the difference between the two of us.
I mean, I do like some of the Strokes songs. I like a lot of them. I just think it's
but as
like,
a band, like, do you like what the Strokes are?
I don't know. No. I don't know anymore because it's just like it's cool, but it's like when I just keep hearing the same stuff over and over again, It's like maybe they don't know how to write as well as I thought they did.
Interesting. Okay, so this is one of the songs that gets referenced on the reviews that are negative. It's like having bad songwriting, and they specifically, I saw the lyric "My feelings are more important than yours," like being taken as like a message to the listener. And there were a couple different
Oh
times in
my god.
reviews of Julian
That's just
Casablancas'
media literacy being
work.
dead.
I know, but I'm like, this is like, why are you saying like, why are you getting annoyed with his lyrics and like taking this as like a personal fucking attack and being like, oh, he's saying my feelings are more important than yours because he had creative control over this album and everything he says, and it's like reading so into this and in the context of the song,
That's
it's like
crazy.
that's not at all what's going on, and that shit annoys me. It's definitely something that I'm going to talk about in my like when I write about or make the video essay on what makes good music criticism because it's something I see a lot. Like taking lyrics out of context to mean something about the album that they clearly don't pisses me off so much. Anyway, good song.
On the other side, 6.
Another funny thing on or in on reviews of this album. On the other side, I think Pitchfork described it as a bitch fest. That was pretty funny.
That is funny.
I think the chorus is pretty mid, but the verses are great. So I give it like a 7 on average. Yeah. I really like the like jittery, bouncy guitar that they do. Like they just do that so well, and it's not easy to copy. I think a lot of bands tried and do try, but they don't. It just there's something so iconic about that sound and the way the Strokes do it and the tones that they use. Vision of Division, uh, maybe top 4 on the album. Yeah, top 4 on the album. Really fucking good song.
Yep.
I love the guitar.
I gave it a 7. So that would make it a top 4.
Oh no! Oh, that's crazy. Oh, I also gotta shout out the bass line on the other side. It's so fucking sick. Yeah, Vision of Division. This is the one that everyone worked on, right?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like the most high, like energy, fast and like heavy track on it. It's pretty unique, and I think it works. A 7. That's tragic. Okay, ask me anything.
I gave it a 6.
No, you can't.
You did not
cannot-
actually like that song.
You can't put it on the same level as anything else on this album. This is the worst fucking Stroke song. This song is so bad. This song is terrible. That's criminal.
I think it was like I think it was like I
I
think it was pretty bad, and I'm just like it's different enough though. Like they're trying something
No!
different, so I think I give it.
It's
No,
a
it's
synth
pretty
and-
bad. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's a synth and Julian saying, "I have got nothing to say" for fucking 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like the synth sounds like Daniel Johnston though. That part's fun. No, I'm upset. You gotta have hate in your heart. You gotta have hate in your heart.
Wouldn't I be having
for
love
this
in my
song.
heart?
No, I don't care if you don't have love in your heart, but you have to have hate in your heart for this song. This song is truly, like, I think single-handedly, this song is responsible for a significant amount of like bad reviews of
Dear
this
God.
album. It derails the entire thing, and it's like it's such a big question mark of why the fuck you
Yeah.
would include this that it like it
Shot
takes away. Shot take. Yeah, I gave it a 3.
Damn.
Jesus, I hate that song. Did I give anything else worse?
I'm
Oh, I
scared.
gave one other song a 3.
I'm scared for the rest of this album.
Uh-oh.
All right, I gave
Electricity Scape.
Electricity Scape a
7. You give it a
5.
7. A 5!
I think I was
This
just so bored. Like the actual songwriting, I'm like, this is so stupid. It's like I don't
to me,
care.
it
There's
sounds like a
nothing
fucking
going on.
Radiohead song.
There was nothing. What, like a fucking electioneering?
No, it sounds like something off of like. Just the opening riff to me gives like "Hail to the Thief" almost. I love the Electricity Scape. I think it's the third best song on the album. I
Was
think
just
the
bored.
vocals are
I was
also the
just
best on
bored.
the album. The drums are incredible. Yeah, you. How did you?
I just didn't. This it was like this out. It was just like. I think it was just I was like I've heard stuff like this 1,000 times before. Like I don't care anymore.
I don't think they have a lot of songs that are like this is
I mean,
one
there
of the
were
more
other
like.
songs that came out that were like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's true. It is very much like a 2000s all rock classic. I just think it's very fucking good. So, I love the like arpeggiation. Oh, hell yeah. I can talk about guitar more adequately now.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned things.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Okay. I'm. I also think it has really good songwriting too. Like the lyrics are a little poignant to me. Um, like it's a good gives good context for the album and where Julian was at the
Yeah.
time. No,
I think I was just thinking about the actual like music aspect of the songwriting.
which
I
is
think that's where I was just like bored.
it's so exciting. I can't believe you.
All right,
Alright,
Killing Lies.
Help.
I gave it a 5.
That's a fair rating.
Okay.
It got worse every time I re-listened. It's like really repetitive. I think.
Yeah.
I ended on a 6, but that might be generous.
Mm.
All right, Fear of Sleep.
Fear of Sleep. I ended up.
Remember you hated it.
I gave it a 7.
Oh, okay. This it's to me it reminds me of like the like early Turkish house influenced stuff
Dear
by
God.
King Kiz. It's so repetitive, but it is in a way where it's like it seems kind of like it's like in a house music type of
I
way.
think if it wasn't as repetitive / annoying, I think I would have rated it higher.
I like how repetitive it is.
Yeah.
And I think it's always kind of building, but then it builds to like a non-existent payoff. Like the drums keep picking up, and then it's just like, ba-doop, and then that's it. So I actually rated it as 6.5, so less than you, but there's something about it where I kept revisiting it and being like, oh, this is like a captivating song, but I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 15 minutes. Pogues ripoff. Very strange. It's a decent impression, I guess.
Yeah.
And the song like gets better throughout, but I'm also like, why the fuck did they do this? I guess to give homage to the Pogues, but weird.
Yeah, I think 15 minutes. I gave
weird
a 6 as well.
I gave it a 6.5, but I also love the Pogues so much. So, all right. Here we go. This is the heat. What did you think of Eyes of the World, Ja?
I gave it a 6. I just didn't care.
Ah!
There's so much. I'm just like, I don't care. So much of it's just like blending into unforgettableness, or I mean, forgettableness.
I'd listened to every Strokes album, but not that much. When I went to see them live, like one time each,
Yeah.
and hearing this song live like blew me away, and I was like, what song was that? And I couldn't find it because it wasn't one like I'd had a strong memory of. So listening back through when I heard this, I was like, oh my god, this is the fucking song. This
Mhm.
song is so good. The only thing that like takes away from me is that it ends like abruptly, and I get that it's like an artistic take, but it's part of the like kind of corny theatrical stuff that pops up a couple times in this album that doesn't really work for me.
Mhm.
Other than that, it's perfect. It's so fucking fun. Like the way it builds, the
Yeah.
chorus.
I think it's just. I think so much of it, like, it's just that exact style. I guess I'm just not a fan of.
Interesting. I'm surprised you liked Juicebox and
I
not
don't
this.
know. I think this just
'Cause they're
random
pretty
shit.
similar to me. All right. Well, shout out Eyes of the World. I used it for the post because I think
Mhm.
it's sick as fuck. Maybe the most underrated Stroke song, actually, in my opinion. Bangs. Oh, also, they played like 5 fucking songs from this album,
Dear
and
God.
not good ones. They played "Ask Me Anything" live when I saw them, and I'll never forgive them for that.
That's
Uh,
funny as fuck.
it was the first time they'd played it since 2016,
Dear God.
and probably the only time they played it since. It's fucked. Okay, Evening Sun.
7.
Yeah, I think that's. I give it 7.5. It's very chill. It's pleasant. Mm, it's nice. Not a lot to say.
I think so much
Okay.
of the stuff I just don't like remember. I think so much of it blends.
Yeah. This Evening Sun is definitely a more forgettable track, but every time it came on, I was like, "Oh, I enjoyed that." I don't remember any of it,
I
but I
think still,
enjoyed
it's just
it.
this album just has too many songs. And it would be better
True.
if it was shorter.
True. Now Red Light though.
Gave it a 6.
Okay, fuck you. Come on! It's so bouncy and like
I
it's
think I
cute
maybe
and
I don't like
fun.
the
It's so
bouncy
strong.
songs. I think any of the soft, like slower stuff. I think most of the time for the Strokes, I'm not a fan.
Red Light isn't soft and slow. You rated it lower than Evening Sun, which is soft and slow.
Let me
It's
listen.
got Red Light is another song with like heavy arpeggiation and like it's like really groovy and fast.
No, I don't like it.
I love this song. I love this song. Uh, Also top 5. I give it a 9.
Dear fucking God.
It's so good. God, it's so good. I'm gonna listen to this song a lot.
You sick fuck.
I'm gonna revisit this song
Alright,
a
where are we
lot.
putting this album?
Oh, well, okay, wait. What was your overall score? I'm curious.
Okay, so I'll give you context. Is this set was an 85?
Okay. Oh, wait, we're like. Oh, wait, no, is this it? Was 85?
Room on Fire was a 71.
Ooh.
First
Okay.
Impressions of Earth is a 65.
Only 5 lower.
6.
Damn,
6 lower.
6 points lower. That's crazy to me. Uh, so the Room on Fire is of 8.5. This is a 7.5 to me. So if we are going by tier list rules,
Yeah.
I think it should be B tier
Hmm.
for me.
Okay.
And I think that our scales are like my scale is
That makes
inflated to your
sense.
scale, but relative, like they're yeah.
I'm good
Although
with B.
later on it might
Might move
later
around.
on it might reach A. I don't know.
Alright. You got the next
You get
one.
final say though, so
I'm
oh, I
done.
do
I'm
get
good
the
with
next one.
B. I'm good with
So
B.
I forced you to listen to this album.
Yep.
I said we have to include it. It's necessary. It's
It
part.
definitely was not.
It definitely was necessary because
Bullshit.
this album has a special place in my heart. Now, was it significantly worse revisiting it than how I remembered? Yes, yes, it was. I used to really like the whole album. Now I'm like, what the fuck was I on? However, it has some very, very worthwhile tracks. Like, I think as a
I'm gonna
solo
say there's
album,
3 of them.
let's see, I would say one, two, three, four, 5 songs that are pretty good. Uh, and there's one that I'm so curious to know your opinion on, because if you hate it, next episode is gonna suck for you. Um, it's kind of weird, and I think in an interview since, Julian has said like he kind of regrets the album, not because he thinks it was bad, but because he wishes that he went like in a more experimental direction with it. Like he recorded stuff that was more out there that he just didn't like keep on the album because he's like, oh, like people aren't gonna want this or expect this
Yeah.
from me. Um, and I'm so curious to know what that would have sounded like, but I think when he does experimental stuff, it's very hit or miss. And the some of the less like the more experimental songs on the album on this, yeah. Oh my god, I can't fucking speak right now. The more experimental songs on this album are also hit or miss to me. So I don't know. Um, but yeah, I feel like you kind of just have to go track by track because this is
Yeah.
very much a like similar type. Like it is pretty similar to First Impressions of Earth, honestly, where it's like very cleanly produced, very sharp sounding, but it's just him working with other musicians. But like he had complete creative control over all of the other albums anyway, so it's not
Mhm.
that different than the Strokes. He's just doing some more niche, weirder Julian Casablancas type things. So, yeah, what did you think?
Phrases for the mid. Um,
Come on.
no, no,
Come on.
no, no. It was I when I say mid, I mean it in like the actual term of mid, not like because I feel like people say mid and they're like, oh, that was so fucking mid, like thinking it's like the worst thing ever. But
Mm-hmm.
no, mid means middle. We need to fucking reclaim that term.
True.
Um,
Jesus Christ.
so I think what I ended up saying, I didn't care for a majority of the songs. There were some that I did enjoy, but like most of it is like, it's fine. But I think the biggest question, I'm like, why the fuck was this made? Like, why did he go solo? Why didn't he just make a new Strokes album? It's like a pop album. Like, I don't know why it was. I don't get it. Like, what? Everything he did on this album that could have been done on like another Strokes album. Like, it makes zero sense as to why he's like, I need to be solo for this. Um, I don't get it. The creation behind it is lost on me.
I think the context is that kind of everyone in the Strokes was burnt out by it,
That makes sense.
and like, especially with him having like fully full creative control over stuff and like them touring for years after this, like it was just a lot. And I
Mm-hmm.
think other members also did solo stuff during this era, so I guess it was just like they were all wanting to kind of do their own
Mm-hmm.
shit and take a break. And but because he'd had control, like he ended up essentially making a Strokes album on
Yeah.
his own. Um, all right, track for track.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the blue, did you like it?
I give it a 6.
Okay, so that's no. Didn't like it. Damn.
It's fine.
I give it an 8.
Okay.
I used to like it a lot more. It used to be like a 9 or a 10 for
Dear
me,
God,
but
no.
re-listening, I'm like, this song is not that good. It's fun. Uh, like I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's like a cool like Bob Dylan type moment at like the 3-minute mark.
What?
Yeah, when he says take all your fears. I don't know. Uh, the composition and like songwriting on the album, it can be a little bland, and I think this is one
Yeah.
where it's like if this was a Strokes song,
I
it would
think
be
if they used different
really,
instruments, it could have been better too.
yeah.
I think it's like
That's,
very, very like early
it's very light
2000 sound.
sounding. Yeah. Which it being like 2009, like it was already kind of like
Running its course.
yeah. It was like very. It was almost dated on release. Um, but
Again,
I
why was
think
it made? I don't know.
it's like nostalgic now to me, like listening to it. It's kind of fun. Um, all right, left and right in the dark.
6.
Yeah, it has it like I think it interpolates the outfield or like has
I don't know.
like I
It's the outfield.
like the what's that fucking song by them? There's a part in this that sounds exactly like Your Love, which is their like I don't know if they were one
I
hit
have
wonder.
no
They're
idea.
basically
Never
a one-hit
heard.
wonder.
Never heard of this.
Oh, you've never heard Your Love by the Outfield?
Nope.
Okay, well, interesting. This song has kind of like a retro vibe. It's alright. It's mid. It's simple, a little too long, but it's fun. Alright, 11th Dimension.
Gave it a 7. I think I liked some of the stuff more.
Okay, that's fine.
You about to cry?
I was pretending to. This song is so good.
Okay.
This song is so fucking fun. I think, like, just listen to this song. You don't need to listen to the whole album.
It's like Too
the best
Happy,
song
I
on the
don't know.
album. Too Happy.
I don't like the synth, but it's like it's fine. I enjoyed it.
It's cheesy for
Yeah.
sure. It's so over the top.
Yeah.
I fucking love every second of it though. It's so fun. It's so like
I think
upbeat.
maybe like re-listening back to like looking at everything, like maybe I do enjoy it a little bit more. I think maybe more of the fact that it's like different from the other stuff.
is
Like so
different.
much of it's so fucking similar.
Yeah, it is a unique song, and it's also not one that is like super of the era. I think it's unique. It has a really good structure. It's just a little cheesy, but I love it. I love it. I think I give it a 9.5. Not quite a 10,
Dear God.
but so good. All right, Four Chords of the Apocalypse.
Worst song on the album.
Nah.
Worst song on the album.
Second worst song on the album.
Okay, I gave it a 5. So
I gave it a 5.5. I think the like bluesy like R&B feel it has
why?
is ass.
Why?
But it has a fun guitar solo, and I like the chorus.
Fun's
so.
an interesting way to describe it.
But I'm like, this is one of the ones where I'm like, I can't believe I used to like this song. No, you're right. Actually, this solo isn't even good. I think I was just like, oh, finally a fucking guitar. Alright, yeah, this might be... It might be as bad as the other song I hate, actually.
Dear God.
Probably not, though. Okay. Ludlow Street.
I gave that one a 6.
No, I think this is the worst song on the album. I hate this song so much.
I think it's just not great.
The lyrics horrible, so
Yeah.
fucking stupid, so stupid. Like just reading them through, I'm like, can we not? Like this song should not have been made. It's just a long, obnoxious fucking ballad about Ludlow Street
Yeah.
in New York, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
I would assume. And it's like a fucking country song. Like it has this twangy ass guitar, It's overproduced to shit. It, God, it's so bad. It's so bad. I hate this song so much. Um, I don't know if I ever liked it or if I was just
Damn.
like I like this album, but it was when I reopened the album, it was in my liked songs, and I'm like that's a crime, and I'm ashamed of myself for that. So, yeah, I hate this song so much.
Damn.
Uh, okay, River Break
All right.
Lights.
River Brake Lights. It's the true champion of this album.
Let's
It's the
go!
best. It's the best song.
Let's
Uh,
go!
I think that this is another one that I did revisit a couple times too, along with Juicebox.
Oh my
Uh,
god! Oh, we're so back. We're so back.
so I gave it an 8. Maybe I'd even give it higher now, but I think there's just like so many random parts of that
Yeah.
song that are like it's like they're good to stem to, you know, like the fucking
Shaw.
like like the
Yeah.
one guitar part, and then just like other things like
Getting the hang of it.
like it's just
Getting
like a
the
good
hang of
song.
it. Timing is everything.
It's just a good song, like
So this is the song that I needed to like. We had to go track for track to get
Yeah.
your opinion on the song. This is what like every Void song sounds like.
oh,
This is the Void
fuck.
style.
I'm
This is
scared.
no,
that should
well,
be
not
fun,
literally
though.
every, but this is like the Void's style, and like, yeah, because the Voids is made up like half or over half the members are the musicians that he worked on this album.
Mm.
So, yeah, I'm so glad you like it. I give it a 7.5, mostly because I was like, oh, I think stuff that they do like later that sounds like this is
Mm.
even better. So. I'm so glad you liked it. If you hated this song, you were gonna have a bad time coming up. Uh,
Banger.
okay,
Banger.
yeah, nice. I actually like the
It
next
felt
two tracks
different,
more,
you know.
though.
It was good.
It is very different. It is very different.
Glass, I gave it a 7. It's aight.
I give it a 9. I think it's the second best song in the album.
Damn.
It's so unique. And it builds really well, and the chorus is incredible to me.
Isn't the one where it has like the weird like wind blowing kind of doot
Yeah,
doot doot doot?
yeah. It's the whistling, and then the chorus is just so pretty,
Yeah.
so awesome. I love this song. This one, River Breaklights and 11th Dimension, like I think people should check those out,
Yeah.
and then not the rest of the album, perhaps. All right,
I like Glasses.
Tourist.
Glass, I gave it a 7. So those are my 3 highest.
Nice. Tourist.
Tears, I
Uh-oh.
gave it a 6. I was like,
6?
It's fine.
This song also sounds like some Void stuff. It has some like awkward transitions that like it's really rough. It's a lot rougher than when they do stuff like this. But the guitar and like the kind of like heavy, I don't know, progression and almost like Eastern flavor to it. At least at the start is kind of Voidsy. But then the chorus is so different, it kind of like ruins the song to me. Like
Yeah.
like it goes back and forth.
That's
between
probably
these two
why.
styles.
I think
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's what I
really
remember. There's the
jarring.
one part I didn't care, so I was like, it's a 6.
Yeah, it starts really strong, and then it goes to the chorus, and it's all like pretty and bland, and yeah, whatever.
All right.
What are you saying Heat to? When did you send
Where'd you
this?
put this?
Where
You
would
just-
I put this?
Yeah.
So, for me, it's like a 7.1, which is only a little bit behind First Impressions.
So that's
it's not
exactly
enough.
what I had. It's literally 64, and First Impressions was 65.
Hell yeah! All right, into B. This is a nice tier list.
We're
I'm happy
getting
with the
somewhere.
tier list.
It's almost like it's like you really like them, and I enjoyed them to some extent, but it's like the majority. It's like the levels of likeness are like decreasing.
Yeah,
or, like,
it's
going at the same
it's
time.
exactly like proportional. Yeah, between us. That's cool. That's cool.
Oh, we got one more album, I guess.
We do.
I need to.
And I think
write
you get
that
to
down.
introduce it. Thank you. I'm glad you like River Break. It's cringe. You leaving? What the fuck? Okay, well, I guess I get to introduce Angles, actually. So this album, much maligned,
I'm right. I'm back.
much hated. Oh, okay, you're back.
This might be where we differ.
This is definitely gonna be where we differ.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to intro this album?
Do I? 1, 2.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
that was a quick
I
cigarette
do get to
break.
do it. There's a quick cigarette break. All right, Krish. So Angles, I was like, all right. They got the first 3 albums. Julian Casablanca fucked off, did his own thing for a little bit, and now they're back. Let's see what they did. And personally, I thought they kind of took like kind of the more like heavier kind of like style or sound that they like teased a bit on First Impressions, and kind of like tried to flesh out some of that like style or sound a bit more on this album, while also kind of like appealing to some of the earlier stroke sounds. And so I thought that there was good songwriting throughout majority of it, and I really liked some of the production as well. I like the production on the vocals, and then I think there's like a snare sound they have throughout the entire album that for some reason I really appeal to, and so I thought it was pretty solid.
Okay.
Are we getting somewhere? Are we getting somewhere?
This album is overhated as hell. This album is like almost just like I still think it's their weakest. Like I think it's the worst one of episode 1 to me. But not by much. Like I think it has some really really good songs. It's just like way less consistent to me. But it has a really nice production style. Like they definitely do a bit of return to form, and then also like they take away all of the weird shit that they were trying on First Impressions of Earth.
Yeah.
They go back to like a sound that just works. But I think that from my research on it, like I learned a bit because I used to be like, oh, Angles is like one of my favorite Strokes albums, but re-listening some of the songs like just really don't hit for me. And I also learned a lot.
Now.
Hell yeah. I also learned a lot about like the recording process of it, and so they met up, wrote all the songs together, but which one is already something that is new, where like before everything was composed by Julian, but on this one they're like, oh, we're gonna be more like we're gonna try to be a band, we're gonna try to collaborate. Then because I don't know why, but they had like issues with engineering, and they had like I don't know, scheduling conflicts or something. But almost like a lot of the album, like all of the finishing bits of the album were recorded separately.
Damn.
So they weren't in studio together like when the guitar was put in, and that like was really challenging. And they were like, if we ever make another Strokes album, which after this we don't think we're going to, but if we ever do, it cannot be the way that we recorded this one. Like they all were like, that was a nightmare, like that fucking sucked, we have to make sure we can all be together in studio. And I think because of that, like a lot of the songs are just don't come together as cleanly. But overall, it's still a good album. Like to me, overall, on balance, it has some really good songs on it. Yeah, and I'm glad you liked it because I was worried. It was gonna be like, especially after how tired you were of everything leading up. I thought you were just gonna be like,
I don't think it's fully in that like Stroke style that they really hammer in on. I think it's slightly different. And so I think I just appreciate it a bit more because it's like, damn, they're doing something new.
Poppier almost. I don't know. It's hard for me to. It's hard to explain. Strokes reference.
I'm stroking it. All right.
Jesus Christ.
Going into the track list.
Yeah.
Okay. Machu Picchu, I give an 8. I think it's a banger.
I also think it's a banger. I gave it a 9.5 though. I'm like, oh, we're so back.
Yeah,
Like
it's pretty good.
it's got the energy and the tightness that I always look for, or like that a lot of my favorite Strokes songs have. Like, yeah, so good. And that fun little like intro, like it makes it really good as the first track. I think this album's like well sequenced
Uh
too.
huh.
Yeah.
I like the fucking second album. Oh my god. It's just like that's just a bad idea. I don't know how it got passed through every stage. I think the chorus or the darling part of Machu Picchu is really good as well. It's like dun 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 dun
I think
dun.
that's everything. Yeah, that part's so fun.
Undercover
Everything.
Darkness.
All right.
I think parts of it I'm like, oh, this is really good, and there are other parts that aren't. So I just gave it like a 7.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
Give it a 10. This is at
Oh,
one point my favorite Stroke song.
damn.
It's like danceable. It's just so fun
I think it's
and
one that I heard too
groovy.
many
And, like,
times.
that's fair. That's fair. It's so fucking. It's so fucking good. Yeah, I love it. 10 out of 10. Perfect.
Oh fuck!
I
There's
don't know.
one thing I wanted to bring up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when I was going back and listening to them, I was like, I know that I think I had listened to either like every Strokes album where I'd given up. At some point, I don't know if I ever listened to all of Angles or if I got to the new Abnormal, but I had listened to a couple and I was like, okay, I'm only gonna re-listen as many times if I don't really remember the album. So I think is this it? I only listened to once. Room on
Damn.
Fire. I mean, I've listened to it so many times. I
Yeah.
was like, I know all these songs. Room on Fire. I listened to it. I'm like, okay, I remember most of it, and then I was like, let me just listen a second time. So I listened twice. And then I think I got to First Impressions of Earth, and it was like I definitely did listen to it all the way through. I didn't remember listening to it all the way through this, so I ended up listening to it 3 times. And then I did all the same stuff with the solo album and then Angles. And I'm honestly I don't think I ever finished Come Down Machine. I think that might have been
Damn.
where I stopped. But yeah, so Angles I listened to 3 times, and the other ones I didn't listen to as much because I thought I knew them.
See, okay, that might be the issue because I re-listened to "Is This It" until it clicked for me, and then that made listening to everything else like more enjoyable.
I mean,
'Cause
that
the
is
first
that
time-
literally might be like the album I've listened to more than anything in my entire life. Is this?
Damn.
I think just because I found out about it at such an early age when I was just getting
Yeah.
into albums.
Got it.
Like, listen to that shit for over 10 years now.
Still, maybe the other albums though.
I don't know.
Over 10 years. All right. 2 Kinds of Happiness.
Banger. I gave it an 8.
Really?
Dude, the fucking guitar. The guitar goes crazy in that song.
I don't remember it having a crazy guitar. Okay, my comment on it was that it felt like someone unseasoned the Strokes. Like, oh, the first verse. Like, the first verse is like...
Go to minute and 20 in.
Yeah, I did say chorus and solo after the first verse really saves
That
it. But
shit's
the verses...
crazy.
I think the verses are just, like, not good, unfortunately.
Makes sense.
One is... Like, the lyrics are
It
kind of...
reminds me of a certain... I know, it fucking reminds me of the Cars song. Or, I think
Cars
you're just what I needed. I needed someone to
Oh! I don't like that song very much.
I like that song.
Actually, I don't like that song at all. You're right, the guitar is so
please. Krish is
fucking good.
about to kill you after saying that. Krish is gonna have a vendetta. Is he still in there?
Uh-oh.
If he left...
Uh-oh, I hope so. No! Oh no!
How dare you?
I think it's not the song's fault. It's the fact that it's been used in like 8 million commercials.
Damn.
Is the problem. Is why I don't like it. It's been ruined. But yeah, I think the verses of 2 Kinds of Happiness are bad. it's like if the Strokes, yeah, got all the seasoning washed off. It's
Damn.
just so bland. But then the chorus and then the solo are both really fucking good. So I don't know. It's like a 6.5 to me. All right, you're so right.
I give it a 7.
I've never heard the album, Krish, and I know it's very critically acclaimed. I'm just talking about
Yeah.
the one song.
All right.
Uh,
I gotta move the car. I'll be back.
Aw, damn. All right, well, I guess I have to talk about "You're So Right" for 5 minutes straight. I don't think I can do that. My note on it was "Oh no, sad face." I think that the recording process is really like this is one of the songs that got fucked by it because the harmonies are kind of like off. The mix doesn't work for the song to me. Uh, but then there are some like things where they were trying, where it's really cool. Like the like in the background is like weirdly loud. The guitar. Where's the guitar? Where does the guitar get good? Apparently, the guitar gets good at some point, according to my notes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whenever it's soloing, it's really fun and cool. Um, but I think I just like. Oh, also it's just so repetitive, but not in like a way where it builds. It's a little like droning and monotonous to me. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it was the second worst song on the album. Um, it's unfortunate because I think it's also a song that could have been good if they had like recorded it all together and like mixed it better. Um, and it's also one that I can see someone enjoying, like, because so much of the issue is like the mix, which sounds different in different like speakers and stuff. I don't know. I'm really trying to fill time here while Ja reparks their car. I guess I can talk about "Taken for a Fool," which I think is another banger. I gave it an 8, but re-listening to it, I'm like, I think when I listened to this album like 3 times in a row, it didn't hit as hard. But then coming back to it, like just to listen on its own, it hits really hard again. House MD. Um, I've seen clips. I've seen clips. Um, I don't know enough. I think that the guy who plays him, let's see, House actor, uh, Hugh Laurie he's awesome. Uh, he's got a real unique, cool look. It really fits the character. I have you tried medicine? Yes, I've seen that meme. I've seen the Jesus Christ, the stream is being derailed. Oh no. Oh no. Uh, is it worth a watch? Should I like actually watch it? How many seasons of House are there? House 2004 to 2012. I'm not. It's not happening. Oh my god. Medical Sherlock Holmes. That's an interesting description of it on Google. Unironically, I should actually watch House. Interesting. Interesting. Genre medical drama and black comedy. Is it actually like a dark 8 seasons? Is there a plot? Like an over like is there are there narrative arcs or is it just like really like fun episodic? I can't wait for timestamps in the VOD to have fucking House MD discussion for like 5 minutes. I can't imagine what like the narrative arc would
Okay.
be. Like Adventure Time. Okay. All right, all right. Pack it up, pack it up. Pretend
Sorry
God, don't
about
look at the
that.
cat. Don't look at the chat.
Don't look at the chat.
Don't look at the chat. Like Adventure Time is crazy.
Why don't look at the chat?
Okay, so what do you think about You're So Right?
I give it a 7.
Okay. That's interesting. Why did you like it?
Uh, what's going on?
We talked about House. We got derailed.
I think it's just like a fine track. Like it's like more. It's like I'm not bored by it. I don't love it, but I still think it's like actually good. So that's why I give it like a 7.
All right. Okay, Taken for a Fool.
The same thing.
Really?
Yeah, 7 as well.
Those two tracks were equal quality to you.
Yeah,
That's
because they're like different. They're like different and like but like unique enough to where it's like
oh,
I still enjoyed both of them for different reasons.
all right. I really like Taken for a Fool. I don't like You're So Right that much, but I had to talk about it for like 2 full minutes, so I don't want to repeat anything. I'll just move on.
What the hell
All right,
happened?
games. Don't worry about it.
Are you guys talking about fucking House? Oh my god.
Uh,
Games, this is one of the worst songs on the album.
what?
No, I just gave it a 6. It's like, I just liked it a bit less than the other ones.
That really caught me off guard. I liked it. I thought it was decent. Give it a 7. I think that it's like one of the ones where they try something interesting.
I don't think I like the
and
bass.
different. That's fair, actually. It's a little bland compared to most Strokes basses. But they got that cool synth in there, and
I
I think
like
it's
it.
kind of a prelude to where they kind of go later on,
Mm.
in a sense, and that's interesting to me. All right, Call Me Back.
I think this is another one where it's like kind of that slower style I don't really care about. So I also gave it a 6.
I'm re-listening to it now, and I don't know why I put this note, but I put kind of unlistenable, and I gave it a 4, which would make it the the third or fourth worst rated Stroke song. Oh no, it would make it the second worst rated because the other 3 I gave was on Phrases.
I
for
mean,
the
I think
Young.
it's fine. I don't think it's bad, though.
I'm re-listening, and I'm like, why did I hate this?
Maybe you're listening to Call Me Maybe.
No, that song bangs. That song's awesome. I'm just gonna listen to it and get back to you. You can talk
Dear
about
God.
Gratisfaction to see why I said
So
it was
Gratisfaction reminds me of like another like classic rock song. It reminds me of Reelin' in the Years by Steely Dan. So I like that one also. I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 6.
Yeah.
I said that it sounded like a Queen ripoff, so I agree that it's like a classic rock type of song.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like I wish that they. I said it was a facsimile of a good Strokes song. It sounds like the Strokes are trying to do their own. They're
Yeah.
trying to do like a Queen song in their own style. I don't know, which works okay, but it's not great to me. So yeah, I give it a 6. Metabolism.
That one I gave a 7.
I also gave a 7. I really like the guitar layering. Also, I wrote, "Why is this song?" I think I had a more to that note, and then I forgot to type it out.
Yeah. I think yeah, this is more of like the song that's like kind of going into that like heavier style that was like seen on First Impressions, but I think it's like more developed for Metabolism.
Yeah. I agree. I'm in the last like 10 seconds of Call Me Back. I'm understanding why I didn't like it. Okay, it has dissonance to it,
It doesn't
and
need to be a 4. It doesn't need to be a
no, it
4.
doesn't need to be a 4. I would move it up to like a 5, I think.
Yeah.
Which brings angles above phrases for the young for me score wise. That's funny. Yeah, I think it just has dissonance, and dissonance doesn't really fit on this album,
Mm.
but isolated as a song, like it's fine. It's still not good, but because it's a little jarring, but I'm like thinking about some Voids songs, and I'm like, this would be like right at home with that style that they I
Hmm.
think do better later on. So, all right, Life is Simple in the Moonlight.
I think it's good. Gave it a 7. I feel like it's a slight precursor to like some of that like indie rock music that got popularized
Yeah,
in the later 2010s.
I gave it a 7.5, and I said that if you averaged every stroke song, it might sound something like this. Like
Yeah.
it's solid and pleasant, but there's nothing standout about it. Like, uh, and that is kind of overall where this album feels a little bit, you know?
So I think for me, I thought it was very solid because nothing really. There was like not much that of a peak, and there also wasn't any like dips really for me. So I like thought it was really enjoyable, and I actually gave it a 70.
Okay. I gave it a, well, now it would round up to a 7.2.
Yeah.
So, um, I think putting it in B above Phrases for the Young is where I would want it, but this is your final say. So,
So I think technically where mine would go be right after Room on Fire in
wait,
A.
didn't you? Oh, Jesus.
Just because of how my ratings work, but I also still think like looking at everything, I'm like, yeah, I'd probably do that.
Let's do it.
You want to put it there?
Not really.
I mean, we could I can move it top of B.
Top of B is. I think
Okay.
I'd rather it be a top
Okay,
of B
we'll do
for
that.
sure.
We'll do that.
It's funny that.
I don't know. I think I really just did not like first. I truly think like when it comes to me for albums, I feel like it's like if there was no need for it to be that fucking long. They could have made it shorter. I think it would have been a much. They were just too full of themselves. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it is nice that Angles is quite short. And so the songs that I don't like go by very quickly. It was a very easy listen, which is why I'm like, yeah, absolutely happy to put it above the others. But same tier as Room on Fire.
That might be a little. That's where if you're out in the street, you're gonna get shot. You know,
Yeah.
shot by Krish Magall.
True. True.
Okay, we got 5 more albums for the next one. I'm scared. I'm so scared.
We do. I'm so
I'm
excited.
so afraid.
It's so fun. And are we including the EP since it's 3 songs in this list?
What is it?
It's a 3-song
Future,
EP,
present,
yeah.
past. It's
Yeah, yeah,
4. There's a remix.
Oh,
I'll listen to it once,
yeah.
and
Same.
then if I
We'll-
like
we'll-
it more, I'll
we'll
listen
do
to
it.
it more. But if not, then I might just be like, you can rank that one.
Cool.
Okay, we got 2 more Strokes albums, and then all of the fucking Voids albums. I'm scared.
Wait.
I'm like actually horrified.
No. You're chilling. You're chilling.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it says Moretti remix, but I'm
Yeah.
like, is that just one of the band members?
Yeah, it is.
That's funny. I'm not ready for this. Oh no. That's funny.
All right.
Okay.
Do you have any last words?
Am I about to get put down?
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I'm pretty happy with this ranking. This was like our most
Well,
chill episode in a long time. I
we
wonder.
still have,
I wonder what's going to happen. Yeah, and these are more challenging listens for sure.
No.
The,
Oh no.
you're about to listen to one of my favorite songs of all time. So,
Really?
yep, yep.
Is it on Come Down Machine?
No,
Uh-oh.
God no.
Uh-oh.
It's on
Uh-oh.
Tyranny. It's on Tyranny.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I'm so excited.
Well, we'll
I
hopefully
can't. You're
let's
gonna
be
give it a
back.
7.
Let's be
You're gonna give it a 7, and I'm gonna jump out of my window. Oh no!
we
You
gotta
like
let's
it?
hopefully we'll be back in 2 weeks. We won't take that big of a break. I think
Yeah.
we're not gonna do the shoo shoo thing because that was something neither the viewers nor the hosts wanted to partake in.
What if we did do it actually?
Well, if you want to do it,
I don't know. Maybe
you
next
have my
week.
schedule.
Yeah. Maybe we won't announce it. We'll just go live, and just be watching the movie. Because I've been watching some more. Yeah, we spun the wheel. We have to do it, like
Oh
we
my
do. We were
god.
supposed to do it before this, but then the fucking the scheduling was really bad. Like
Was
we had
so
a couple
fucked, and
times we
we're
were
just
like,
like
"Oh,
we
we
just gotta
can,"
start the
but
strokes.
yeah,
We just gotta start the strokes.
exactly. But I'm happy to do it as a bonus in
Okay.
between. You
Okay.
know, yeah. Let's go for it. Let's watch Shoo Shoo, the Sent Down Girl, and give a
Sounds good.
in-depth review.
Watch the static cam version of it. All right.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
See you guys. See you guys next time. Let's There we go. And then that'll be the thumbnail when I end it. It'll just be a bunch of the images of the new Voids album.